Yeah. Feel it. Red days. This is normal. Still sucks. Unless you've been around for a while, and then it doesn't even suck because you know that these are buying opportunities. I want to welcome you all, Rainmakers and everyone else, to the Crypto Rain channel. I'm your host, Jay Murph, and today we're going to talk about red days and, just the feelings associated with it and what these smart investors know and what the new investors often do. But without any further ado, why don't we go ahead and get this party started. Join me, Rainmakers. Well, fair to say it sucks being new, but in order to be really good someday, you got to start with being new, and it's okay. It's what everyone goes through. I was new at this in 2017. Not new in investing in general. I've been doing real estate investing and other investing for 20 years. But you got to start somewhere, and I have some good news, especially for those of you who are new. But why don't we talk for a bit about red days? And red days, well, who was it that said, buy when there's blood in the streets, even if it's your blood. And so people that have been in the space for a while know that in the middle of a bull market, red days are normal and they're healthy, and you expect them. In fact, I feel pretty odd, like we got to have some massive red days coming up here because we have been on some massive runs in general. Now, even on red days, not everything does poorly, but you're seeing, like in this last 7 days, a lot of things done pretty poorly here, except for just a few of them, like Theta Network has absolutely hit it out of the park. And for all of you who are in on Theta Network, congratulations. You have absolutely done well. In fact, if you bought this in the middle of the bear market, when most people were sleeping, they had forgotten all about crypto and were doing nothing, because nobody was in crypto except all of us hardcores that made some great money in 2017 and then lost it in 2018 because we didn't diversify out and we didn't understand the cycles. We stuck around. And at one point it hit 7 freaking cents. Where was it? Somewhere in here. I don't remember exactly where it hit 7 cents. Well, here it was even cheaper. But I did manage to get some of this at 7 cents, and I could not pass it up. That is a 200x gain from here, which is absolutely phenomenal. So all of you who bought somewhere along these lines, you have done phenomenal. I want to congratulate you. That is absolutely amazing. Now, maybe you didn't get in till later, and that's awesome. Celebrate your wins. Theta is an amazing project. They always have been. And what was crazy is that it was ever 7 cents. I mean, they had exactly the right people in place to make their vision happen. Their timing was good. Everything was right. It was just the bear market, and everyone was fighting it and fighting everything and panicked. What I hope you learn from this lesson is be around 4 years from this point. So 2024, not even 2024, 2023 and 2022, I hope you are here. So 2021 is a great time to make some massive gains, and hopefully if your take profit strategy works out really well, and if this cycle repeats, that the bear market follows the bull market, well, those are going to lead to some really good pickups, and I hope you're around, especially given the news I'm going to give you in just a little bit. So, been around long enough to know, and I've always been good at recognizing cycles, and cryptocurrency has about a 3-year, 10-month cycle, in some ways a 4-year cycle. And my guess is, as much as, it seems like every government is trying to completely destroy their fiat currency through overprinting, and that there's reasons behind why governments do that, but the reasons aren't necessarily good, and the good doesn't necessarily outweigh the bad. It seems like they're intent on doing it, and maybe they will finally be successful, and cryptocurrency will become the new currency that people trust. We'll see. But if that doesn't happen, then we're going to have a bear market at some point, and that will lead to some really good buys. All right, so back to our red days and green days. All this red, and that's okay. So if you're feeling your emotions like, and something in your portfolio has dropped by 20 or 30%, it wrenches your gut and your heart, and that's okay. That's normal. Green days come after red days, and so what new people often do is they sell after seeing this because they're scared it's going to keep going down, and they sell right into the hands of experienced investors that know that this is the best time to be buying. So I hope that's not you selling into the hands of all the extremely experienced investors who are then scooping it up on a discount, only to watch it in the coming few weeks finally turn around and do amazing again. But maybe that's you, and maybe you need to go through that learning experience, because this is a learning experience. Now, we do always hope on our first cycle to hit it out of the park so that we can be financially free and independent forever. Now, if that's you and you do that, fantastic, and congratulations. I made a lot of mistakes in that. I made some gains. I did not take profits on them, and so I watched everything that I had gained evaporate to even less than what I had put in, and that was frustrating, and a lot of people will happen to them this cycle too. Which is why I talk about the things, so that some of the people here will learn from my mistakes and hopefully do a lot better and not repeat those same mistakes I made. But on to the good and bad news. Well, so you've probably tuned in. Sometimes I'm able to have Angel on my show on Wednesdays or Sundays. And last Wednesday we had him on the show. But behind the scenes, Angel and I have been putting together several tiers of courses for trading. Now, Angel is extremely good on the technical side. I'm decent on the technical side. I'm a fundamentals type of guy. But the combination of us two is really, really good, because he's exceptional on the technicals. And so I'd love to have him on whenever we can get our schedules to match and share some information with all of you and help you see how he thinks about trading. And hopefully you've had the chance to subscribe to him. If not, go to our show. It says like something, they'll always say about like technical analysis with Angel Mondragon or something. And you can go to my video history and find one. The most recent one with him has his new YouTube channel that he created. And he's been creating 3 videos a day. And he's going to go over the technicals with you. And if you watch those videos, you're going to start learning how to look at it from a technical perspective. And I strongly encourage that. We will be putting these courses out. Now, one of the things we've been debating as we've been working on them is how much to charge for them. And so we did commit to doing a free one that's going to be probably a 3-page. As we are evaluating what to charge for the different courses, one of the big problems that you often have to weigh is one of the worst prices you can sometimes charge is free. And you think, why would free be bad? And the truth is, people don't value what they don't pay for. It just is a fact of life. And though it's crazy, it's absolutely true. So one of the biggest problems is underpricing something. Now, here's the other problem, overpricing it, right? Because if people can't even get the information, how much good does it do with them? So as we've been thinking about this, nothing seemed to quite fit, but today we had a talk, and we wanted to run through with you our thoughts and, the good and bad of it. So on the intermediate course, we were considering pricing it close to $1,000, and the advanced would be probably 3 times that. Here's the problem. What if somebody's from a third world country where $1,000 is like 5 months worth of income? They're never going to be able to get this information, and that we just couldn't have. And at $3,000, they would never ever get that information. Maybe if they did well and stuff, but then they would be giving up too much of their gains to get it. So that would probably actually be a really good deal at those prices, but still wasn't right. So, Angel suggested, what if we actually gave all the courses out for free? And just the downside of that is you won't value them. You'll value them like something that came for free, and that's a huge problem. It's like giving a Ferrari to somebody who's 16 years old. They just don't know how to value it. There's some other problems too, that people get a little bit of this information and then they run out like certain YouTube personalities, and they run out and start leverage trading like crazy, and you get wrecked all the time. Now, if you're making crazy money because you have all kinds of paid promotions on your channel all the time, then you can take those kind of risks. So if you're making $35,000 or 5 Bitcoin every time somebody mentions your project, or every time you mention somebody's project, well, then you can trade on leverage, right? And you can get wrecked and no big deal, and you got plenty of money to go back in and try to make it back, and it's just a different form of gambling. See, trading isn't meant to be gambling. Trading is meant to be very strategic. It's also meant to know when the trade's turning against you and pull out and setting stop losses. And so there's a lot more to it than that. And so what we don't want people doing is going out there and getting wrecked with this. And so we will have some quizzes some kind of gate that you have to go through in order to get more than just the introductory course. But there won't be any monetary cost to it. We will set up a wallet that you can donate whatever time it feels like it's worth to you. We'll set that up, and that's great, you know. And if you don't end up, if you get a course and it benefits you, then what we ask is just give what value feels right to you, and that's all. And so what we didn't want is some of the people out there from these impoverished nations not even having a chance to get the information, and that was just something we couldn't get past. And so, yeah, how about that strategy? So my biggest fear is that people don't value it right, but that's okay. We'll put that in your hands, what you do with it. So we'll probably in the next 3 weeks have the introductory course, and after that we'll have some other stuff. But for now, if you're hungry to get started learning, well, tune into this channel. I go over fundamentals and a little bit technicals, and tune into Angel's channel so you can see the technical side and how he breaks it down, and that is a great way to start your education right now without even having to wait. Does that make sense? If you haven't, join the Telegram group. If you read the description in the video, it's there. Also, helpful if you set up some of the accounts that I suggest down below, like Qcoin and Binance. Those are some of the bigger exchanges out there that you want to go ahead and get those accounts set up. If you use the Binance link, it actually gives you 10% of your own trading fees back. That was the max amount it would let me slide over and give to you back. But the reason is the market is going to be crazy soon. Very crazy. And what happened last time is that there were so many new people trying to get accounts that literally some of the biggest exchanges had a 2-month waiting period to be able to get an account on them. And so even if you're not using them now, probably smart if you go ahead and get a Qcoin account, a Binance account if you can. I'll set up a Binance.us link. I don't have one up. I do have a Binance.us account. I just need to get the referral thing set up so that I can have a referral link for you there, and I can slide the slider bar over. I just haven't gone through that process. There is a way. I have a Binance regular account. So having the Binance US account, why would I use that when I can use the regular Binance account? Makes sense. All right, guys. Well, that's what I had for today. I do appreciate you joining me. Overall, the whole reason I started this channel was because I'm an investor by nature. I've been investing for over 20 years. I went to undergraduate business school. I did get accepted to graduate business school, but you know, I had a family and kids, and I had to go put money in my pocket to put food on the table. And so I took a job with a business consulting firm and worked in that for a while before going on to real estate and other kinds of investing. And so I started this channel because I realized that there were projects out there that I wasn't getting access to. See, I was reaching out to some of the projects, and if you think from their standpoint, they're not being rude to me when they don't get back to me. It's just they have thousands of people asking them questions. But I did notice that they were getting back to people who had large YouTube channels. Why? Because essentially they could get back to them, and then that person could disseminate the information. I thought, well, a lot of these large YouTube channels don't ask the kind of questions I want asked. They don't even know what questions to ask, some of them. So if I really want to get access to the kind of information I'm really looking for, and let me share with you what the kind of information I'm really looking for is. So there's the private information they can't disclose to you, and I get they can't disclose that. That's fine. But there's this non-private information that hasn't hit public awareness, and that's the kind of stuff I want to know. I mean, did you know Ecomi was going to be built on GoChain? Like, I would have loved to know that before I was actually looking at the Vivi app and looking at Ecomi and realized, oh my gosh, it's built on top of GoChain. Who knew? Well, I didn't, because I wasn't in discussions with the Ecomi team. Why? Well, at that time, my YouTube channel was still pretty new. In fact, it's still pretty new in like 2.5 months. So thank you to all of you who have joined me on this vision. You know, we're at over 8,000 subscribers thanks to you, and a lot of people having this bigger vision. But I didn't know that information. That was not private information, but not generally known information. Does that make sense? So in starting this channel, that's my goal. And already some of the projects are starting to reach out to me, or they're responding well to me, and that's thanks to all of you. And as we grow the channel bigger, well, that's my promise to you. As I go out and get this information, I'm going to bring it back to you so that we can all make better choices. Because even in this bull market, some things are going to appreciate really, really well. Like way better than the rest. Like I want to know what the 50x gainers are, the 100x gainers. And sometimes like during a certain period, maybe I'm just swing trading something and I want to know what's going to do well over the next 6 weeks. And so that information really helps you make some of those good choices. And so together we can get there. And so I hope you take the time to subscribe to the channel. And if on every video you put that thumbs up button, it really, really helps distribute it so we can get a wider audience, and that together we can get that kind of information that we're really looking for. Make sense? I do want to thank all of you for joining me. And why don't we cue the music? This is a Crypto Rain song that I had a sweet gal out of Argentina put together for me. All right. And I want to thank you for joining me. We will see you next time.